What are the criticisms of primitive communism? What are the criticisms of primitive communism? This concept suggests that early human societies thrived on communal ownership and equality. However, many scholars raise concerns about this idea. One major criticism is the lack of clear evidence. Anthropological and archaeological studies have not definitively shown that all early societies practiced communal ownership, as primitive communism suggests. The findings are often mixed and sometimes contradictory. Another point of criticism is the oversimplification of early societies. The idea tends to portray these communities as uniformly peaceful and egalitarian. In reality, early human groups likely had a variety of social structures. Some may have experienced forms of hierarchy or territorial disputes, which contradicts the primitive communist model. Additionally, recent research challenges the historical accuracy of primitive communism. Scholars argue that early humans did not exist in a single social form. Instead, they exhibited a range of social organizations, some of which included inequality and conflict. This diversity complicates the narrative of a universal primitive communism. More specific criticisms also arise. For instance, some argue that the notion of natural communism is misleading. Critics suggest that communism did not emerge spontaneously in human history. Rather, it was a conscious development in response to specific social and economic conditions. This challenges the idea that primitive communism was a natural state for early humans. Economic viability is another concern. Some suggest that groups adhering strictly to communal sharing may have faced disadvantages compared to those with individual or family-based resource control. This could have led to their decline or transformation over time. Finally, the political utility of primitive communism often reflects contemporary ideals rather than historical facts. Both conservatives and socialists have created images of early societies to support their views. These images may not align with what archaeological or anthropological findings reveal. From a communist viewpoint, these criticisms do not entirely dismiss the concept of primitive communism. Instead, they encourage a more nuanced understanding. Early human societies were diverse, and the transition to class society was complex. While the idea of primitive communism illustrates the possibility of a classless society, it should be seen as part of a broader historical process. This perspective aligns with the communist focus on historical materialism and the evolution of social relations through changing modes of production.